Warm hello and welcome back to this special series that I am providing this week on Create Your Bubble of Peace. And today we have the second topic, which is having good boundaries. And what I'm proposing is that this is a door to peace. And the reason why I'm proposing that having good boundaries is a door to peace is because if we don't have good boundaries, then we will experience that we are overextending ourselves. We will experience that people are walking over us. We will experience that people are disrespecting us. And that is a really, really uncomfortable way to try to live life. And in contrast, when we have good boundaries, then we are creating an energetic space for us where we know what is important for us. And then we are choosing what we want to allow into our space. And we are asserting what we do not want into our space. This helps us to feel a lot more peace with ourselves and also at peace with the people around us when we are having good boundaries. So I want to share my favorite definition of what good boundaries are. And also this definition also includes what boundaries are not. And I think both aspects are very important. So I'm actually going to share this in the chat here. So good boundaries. And this comes from Dr. David Gruder, who I had the privilege of actually having some personal contact with. So according to David Gruder, the boundaries definition is any limit I need to honor in order to love or work with you without resentment and with integrity. So I'll just read it again, that a good boundary is any limit that I need to honor in order to love or work with you without resentment and with integrity. He then goes on to define what boundaries are not. A boundary is not a line drawn in the sand, a position, posture, ideology, ultimatum, or other tool for manipulation or control. So again, a boundary is not a line drawn in the sand, a position, posture, ideology, ultimatum, or other tool for manipulation or control. And so when we start to dig into what the good boundary is, like what a boundary actually is, it really has to do with us being in touch with what feels right inside of us. So that's the first thing, is actually being in touch with what feels right inside of us. Where is our limit? The second part is our honoring that. So honoring it means that we do not overstep our boundary. Like if our partner is asking us to cook dinner for the family on a night that really does not work for us, honoring the boundary is, first of all, seeing within us, you know what, this is not feeling right. I know that that particular day I'm needing some time for what I'm needing to do that day. And the second part is actually speaking that and saying, you know what, it's not going to work for me to cook dinner for the family on Wednesday night. I've got such and such going on. Can we explore some other way of working with things? So that means that we also have to communicate our boundary, that this is not going to work for me. You know, what can we explore that we can do differently? So when we also feel into what boundaries are not, according to David Gruder, it is not about like he calls it like a line drawn in the sand. So, you know, like some people appear to have good boundaries when they say, I never go out with men who have any kind of difficulty in relationships in the past. I just do not go out with them. Like that's kind of like an ultimatum. Like that is my boundary. I just do not date men that are this way. That is not a healthy boundary. That is a further way of disconnecting from ourselves and disconnecting from others. What I really like about David Gruder's definition for boundaries and definition for what boundaries are not is that it completely supports you being in an alive, in the present moment relationship with how things are feeling in your body, what feels right for you and what does not feel right for you, and then speaking from that place. It's not about just deciding for the rest of my life, I will never do such and such. That is just closing off. That's like putting a blinder and just actually losing a whole area of life because you've just decided, I just, from now on, I will never relate with this. This will not be part of my life. That is a fragmentation. That is a separation. It does not bring wholeness and integrity. So what I'm proposing is that underneath both the definition of the boundary and the definition of what a boundary is not is being in touch with your own truth, being in touch with how something feels in your body. So why don't we go ahead and step into a little process right now so that we can have a taste for being in that connection with your body, with your truth, and being able to then act from there. So if you would like to really immerse yourself in this little process that we're going to do, I will invite you to put your hands over your heart as we normally do together and start to breathe into your heart and breathing out of your heart. And if you'd like to close your eyes just to have an even more present experience, inviting you, if you feel comfortable, to close your eyes. As you continue to breathe into your heart and breathe out of your heart. As you're breathing into your heart, just really connecting with your engagement with your heart, with your true self, with your truth. As you breathe in, engaging. And as you breathe out, letting go of everything that is outside of who you really are, that is outside of your truth. All of the little noisy voices, just letting that go. As if when you're breathing out, you're just blowing it all out. You're clearing the air with your breath, creating the space for being in tune with who you are, your truth. So as you can just continue to breathe in and out of your heart, connecting in with who you really are, your preferences, what's important to you, connecting with that as you breathe in. And as you breathe out, just completely letting go of everything that is not you. All of the things that other people need, other people are asking for. For now, you're just letting all of that go as you breathe out. This is exclusively creating space for you and what you need as an individual. It is important to connect with who you are as an individual. It is not healthy to just be immersed and just enmeshed with everything outside of you. It is healthy to have a sense of who you are, what's important to you, what your inner voice speaks, what your inner wisdom speaks, what your higher self speaks to you. This is unique to you, and that's why it is important for you to create times in the day where you are connecting with your personal space, your personal reality. So that is what we are doing now, creating this bubble of peace around you. And so now, inviting you to bring to mind something that's feeling a bit edgy, something in your life where there may be a problem with boundaries, your boundaries specifically. So inviting you to call a current situation to life where you may be struggling around your boundaries. And so within this little experiment we're doing, knowing that there is the safety that it's just an experiment, as you are calling this edgy situation where your boundaries are being challenged forward. And we're going to do what we did a couple of weeks ago. We're going to take that energy, which may be located within your body, and we're now going to bring that energy out into the space in front of you. And just allow that edgy energy that may be related to a boundary violation, may be crossing your boundaries, putting it out in front of you. And again, just allowing the space for you to breathe, because that energy is now out in the space in front of you. And now let's bring in the wisdom, Dr. David Gruder. So as you are engaging that energy, boundary is any limit I need to honor in order to love or work with you without resentment and with integrity. And so as we mix this really positive, healthy definition of boundaries with this situation, we're not going to conquer Rome in a day. Just pull out one little aspect of the situation that you could slightly shift how you're working with it so that is coming more into a place of integrity, moving you out of a place of possible resentment. So just identifying one little aspect in this situation that you could do differently that will put you in a place of honoring your boundary, a limit that you need to place. And it could even just be an energetic feeling of, you know what? I feel I can be a little more solid in this situation, can speak my truth. I can be proactive, do what I need to do so that I can feel comfortable in this situation. Could just be an energetic shift of you just feeling a little bit stronger in being able to be with your truth, know your truth, and speak your truth. And notice how that edgy energy in front of you may be changing as you come into this place of greater wholeness within yourself. The energy may be changing color, maybe becoming a lighter, more peaceful, maybe more pastel color. As the whole situation is becoming friendlier as you step more into your power so that you can honor your own boundary in this situation. And just notice a greater sense of lightness, a greater sense of mobility. You're able to be mobile and move in the direction you want to move in because this is not so oppressive anymore. You're taking the horns of the bull here, and you are moving things in a direction that's going to work better for you, and you're going to feel more comfortable. You'll be in integrity with yourself. You are not being run over by the situation any longer. You are taking a proactive approach with this situation, and it doesn't have to be so difficult. So I think it's always really nice to honor energies when they come forward. So if you'd like to, you can even put your hands together and bow to this energy of boundary challenge in front of you. And you might even give it a smile because you have come into a more friendly relationship with it. And inviting you to come back into your here and now reality, come back into your body, wiggle your fingers and toes. And as you feel comfortable, you can open your eyes, come back into the space here together. And yeah, if you want to smile again, I mean, we just did a really powerful process. That is wonderful, wonderful work that you have done. And again, you can always come back and revisit this process. The recording of this will be available. And I'd like to give a special shout out to Jenna. Thank you again for attending live. I really love being in the presence with people, so thank you. And I see that there are some other people live as well, so thank you as well. And I will be offering the third part in this series tomorrow, the Create Your Bubble of Peace series. And tomorrow, we are going to look at how to create peace, part 1. There's going to be a part 1 and a part 2. Part 1 tomorrow is forming your bubble. And also, special shout out to Eden. Thank you so much for your post and for being here. And I look forward to seeing everybody who's able to come live tomorrow. And otherwise, I love connecting with you even through the replay. So wishing you a beautiful rest of your day or evening. Remember, connect with that friendlier energy that you have around some situation, around boundaries. You are creating your bubble of peace with every step that you're taking here. So I look forward to seeing you tomorrow as we actually form the bubble. Okay, bye-bye. You are welcome, Jenna.